we want to change the order of anything?
Yeah, we've got some visitors tonight.
Yep.
Yes, and I'd like each one of them to introduce themselves. This is Council. Hi, my name's Aaron Patterson. I'm the mayor of the village of Baltimore. Thank you guys for taking the time to come in. Beautiful day. And we're looking forward to working with each and every one of you. If you would just give us just your name and a brief, just a hello. Don't want to put you on the spot. When we're done here, we're going to go outside and I'll swear you guys in out there, okay? I'm going to do it a little different tonight. There's a reason for it. So we'll just take everybody out there after you guys introduce yourself to council, please. Kelly?
Yes.
If you would please tell us a little bit about yourself and welcome.
Thank you. My name is Kelly Four. I'll be the part-time canine handler. I come from Fayette, where Chief Bingham was there, and he gave me a call and asked me if I'd be willing to come on here. So just excited to get started.
Thank you, Kelly. And what's your dog's name?
This is Kaya. She's
Kaya.
a Belgian Malinois. She's 2 years old.
2 years old.
And she's dual certified, so she does bite work and then also narcotics detection, tracking, all of that.
Okay, Kelly, thank you. Is there any questions for Kelly? And we'll get plenty of time to talk to these individuals soon enough. And you're with Kelly, correct? You're
Correct.
What's your name?
So my name is Dan Doherty.
Dan. Yes.
I work full-time with the City of Olmsted Falls Division of Police. I'm a full-time canine handler with the city. I train Kelly and the group that we belong to. I also am a state trainer and evaluator for canines. I'm a drug recognition expert with the state also. So looking to come here part-time and see if I can help you guys out.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Dan. Much appreciated. Do we have Jordan? Jordan, how are you doing? Welcome.
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
My name's Jordan Queen. I was with Gibsonburg PD for 8 or 9 months before, and then I came here.
And how long have you been an officer? Just
at Gibsonburg.
Okay. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. And then we have, looks like Mike Welch. Mike, how you doing? Good. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Full-time Haskins Police Department. I've been an officer since 2021. And I work with Bingham part-time out in Fayette, so.
Wonderful, thank you and welcome. Is there any questions for our officers? Okay, well, if you'll excuse us, and thank you, council, for your grace, and Josh, you can go with me for a minute, please. We'll return as soon as we can. As long as I don't get bit here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When it comes up.
Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue on with the meeting. Public Works call up. Go for it.
Alrighty. So Josh has just asked me while he's out there to kind of fill in where we can. So the dog park, some of you might have seen that on the village Facebook page. Apparently on the 8th, it looks like, of April, Josh asked what some general thoughts were on adding a dog park to village amenities. So it looks like what he had found was that there was some strong initial interest in developing a dog park. He said that about 71% of respondents, which was 70 people, were in support of doing a dog park. Another 23%, which was 23 people, were against it. And about 6%, which is 5 people, were unsure. So what his general thoughts were was that it seems to have a general level of support in the community so far. Some of the reasons that people were concerned included maintenance and follow-through. There was a resident who had remarked that there were some great projects such as the disc golf course, the tennis court, and the skateboard ramp, but many of these projects aren't being maintained, is what they had said on the comment section. So it looks like that was one of the concerns, as well as just maybe shifting that money towards streets is what they had said. And it looks like that's about all of his findings there. So he might have more to add when he comes back. I am not sure.
Do you have any idea what his thoughts are as far as where he's going to incorporate it? I imagine it would be fenced in, and or did he not share any of that?
He did not mark this on here, so we'll have to hear for sure. I have not personally heard him remark either way on the location.
By the pond. Down by the pond.
Oh, yeah, because I just casually brought that up during a meeting
Yeah.
when we were talking geese control.
Okay, so like the south end of the pond, I mean,
I just know that in that.
In the grass area and the
Yeah.
fence and
Because really, what's to a dog park except for a fence and
Fence.
some garbage cans and some
Right.
signage?
Yep.
and-
Well, that would probably.
The only thing I know about.
Yeah, do you have thoughts? I'm interested in your
The
thoughts.
only thing I know is that Josh Bender told me last Friday that he was putting a dog park on the agenda. Okay? News to me.
And that's how it came up, because we were talking geese control, and I wanna do things that we don't have to pay for animals, help scare off geese, so why not potentially use some of that for a dog park? That was my thoughts.
but
But-
to bring up a good point is.
The maintaining
Yep,
of it is.
the maintaining of it, because I'm guessing Josh doesn't want to have any part in maintaining.
Well, I mean, I just gotta be careful what I say. I mean, is it gonna end up being a dog fecal waste
Right.
park that, you know?
Right.
Put like bags in there.
Well,
Yeah, but we
could.
still have to have people
Responsible.
responsible
Hopefully
for
they
their
clean up
own.
after their dog.
Hopefully, but that I'm sure would be an issue of some sort at times.
There's been a lot of things that have been put in out there that, you know, people might use them a time or two, a year or two, and then nothing. Like Mason mentioned on that, your papers there, something about the skateboard park and the tennis park, both of which have been gone for years, so whoever wrote that must not have frequent park, but, I mean, that kind of stuff, you know. But,
Do we have a maintenance budget for that kind of stuff?
Well, the budget all comes out of the general fund, right?
Yeah, the general fund props up or supplies the Parks and Recreation Fund, you know, there's just not much revenue there. So, to answer your question, sure there is, appropriations set aside for like maintenance. But, as far as how much money Parks gets, generally it's around 50 or 55,000 per year. I have to look it up. It's one or the other.
That's-
Gets you close.
You're close enough.
Yeah, and that's, you know, to run the whole park.
For everything that they do,
Yeah,
yeah.
so, we do get, there is some grants that can, through the Wood County Park District and so forth, but, you know, that's probably gonna be anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 per year, but there's just not a lot of revenue
Right.
coming in.
What was the price on it?
Well, I don't think we have.
No, we haven't gotten that far yet.
I think basically all he was doing was taking a general poll to see what the.
Would there be enough interest in that?
Yeah.
Is what he was after.
Yeah.
Get a scout deal too, you know, so
All right.
it'd be an Eagle Scout project for the period in the back.
Yeah.
Well, I know they use some of the fields for dog parks, and Josh probably knows, I mean, at one point they had to put signs on there, not to put your dogs in the baseball fields and let them run in there, so.
Oh, wow.
So, that's, I'm sure, Josh, you know about all that, right?
which part?
Where they were putting dogs in baseball fields and
Oh,
letting them
yeah.
run around and.
Oh, yeah. And cleaning up after her.
I mean, that's one good part, it would, maybe leave that a little bit.
Right.
Parks and Recreation has 42,000 in it as of today. I'm looking, what, a year ago? A year ago was 44,000, so it's, you know, comparable.
Any other questions, or anything else you want to share? Josh, anything that you wanted to?
Just a couple things, I guess. One of the things ain't on here, we need a new employee. Josh is setting up some interviews. Another thing that I was kind of concerned about, we got the tree trimmers in town. And the lot out behind the cemetery where they dump the wood for people to come and cut. It's quickly accumulating. I don't know if we need to advertise better for people to come and get this wood. It's there for the taking by permit. I don't know.
I
if
don't,
that's-
I don't know that people know they can do that.
Huh?
I don't know that people know they can do that.
I was gonna say, maybe.
That's what I'm saying, maybe it needs to be better advertised. Well,
We could-
me,
We
I
need
don't
to stick it
have
on
Facebook.
Facebook.
I don't even know if they have newspapers anymore, and that's
No.
newspapers right
We
now.
could
Stick
put
it
it
on
on the
Facebook.
village Facebook page, and
And the
if there
village
needs to be a
website.
permit for them to fill out beforehand,
Yeah, that's all free.
yeah.
I didn't even know it was out there.
I didn't know that was.
So,
Do we wanna wait till it dries up before we start telling people?
Right.
to
Yeah,
do
because
it?
we have,
Yeah,
well,
'cause
if
there'll
we
be
have
mud
people
out
in
there.
town taking other people's trees, but it's causing, like, somebody had their tree cut down and then somebody else showed up to take their tree, and they're like, hey,
Say,
that's
what now?
not yours.
Say, go back just a little bit, I didn't hear you.
So you need a permit in order to go out and get some?
Yes,
Okay.
Is there a cost for that permit, or it's just?
no, and
So we know who's out there?
So you know who's out there, and, I think there were,
Probably a waiver.
well,
I don't have permit.
yes, and there's a sign out there too,
Yeah.
about that. But I think there were certain times a year, like, at first it was open to village residents. After a month into it, out-of-towners could get the permit and come out there. But I think we've had 2 or 3 people cut wood out there.
Okay.
So, and I just don't think people know about it.
They do not.
No clue, so.
All right.
Because that'll, wait, hopefully when it dries up, I think that's a good point by Tim, put that out there and then people can come out.
I mean, is it close to one of the drives, or?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. And it's already cut into?
It's, much of it
Okay.
is about firewood size.
Okay.
Other pieces are big, and they have to go out there and cut stuff.
Okay. Good to know. We'll talk to Josh about that and see how he wants to handle that as far as putting it on our village website, Facebook, and letting people know, so. All right, anything else? Any questions? All right, we will move on to public utilities. Eric?
We have is it posted?
It's not. I am losing an employee to the Bowling Green municipalities. He's going to at least be here until Memorial Day. So I would like to advertise to hire. So hopefully we can run it for a couple weeks, hopefully have interviews, and then somebody possibly ready for you guys' June meeting to approve the hire of a new employee. Because with summer being here, that's when most people take a vacation. So, but that will leave us with 2 young, relatively speaking. When I say young, as we get some applicants that have some experience and licenses, we'll have, whether age, they're 40 but don't have no licenses, I would consider them young in the field. So, because we hired Brayton Sally 6-7 months ago, so I mean, he's coming along really well. But like to get somebody in as soon as possible, especially get them trained, ready to go before winter rolls around again, because it'll be here before we know it, unfortunately. Levi Wrenches, who's leaving, he got an opportunity to go to Bowling Green and for quite a bit more pay. So unfortunately, you guys have done a great job getting those guys raises, but we still can't compete with the big boys. So I mean, I know they stole a state employee, so they're one of the better places to work. Everybody loses people to them because they pay a lot of money.
Right.
So, but until we can, which we'll never get to where they're at, and that's okay. But yeah, so I just need to hire somebody to replace somebody I'm losing here in a few weeks. So he has not put in his notice yet, but I do know he's been offered a position. I do know for a fact they called me yesterday for a reference, so I spoke highly of him. He was a great employee, and is one of those that you truly hate to see go, but we can't hold somebody back when it comes to that meant for them.
Do you need action from us in order to?
I don't believe so, no. I believe we have open policy to advertise. We just need the action once we select somebody for you guys to hire.
Okay.
And that's really all I got. at this point. Well, I think since last time we met, we had our EPA inspection officer plant, everything went good there. Somehow, they didn't have me and Sean Fry as operator records for our collection, and I don't know how that happened. I'm like, I submitted it 2 years ago, so, and here's the letter here saying it was approved, so I resubmitted that like a week and a half ago, and everything's approved. Also have Matthew Smith, not since the last time we've had a council meeting, but he actually got his water 3 license. So we just got him to, just this last week, he was finally approved that he can actually submit the reports to the EPA now. So if something would happen, we would have somebody on staff that would be able to still follow in compliance with all EPA rules and regulations. So that's a blessing there. So hopefully stick around. But yeah, that's all I really have though.
Okay.
Thanks, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions for Eric? All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
We'll go on to public safety.
I don't really have anything. The only thing I heard rumblings about is, now I was hoping there was a police officer here. I wanted to talk about the cars always sitting out front running. They're always out there idling.
So we talked about.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I wasn't here then, I guess.
Yeah, so we talked about that after the last meeting, and it's basically because everything needs to be fired up. If there's if a call comes in, computers, everything have to be turned back on.
I can't be running off the battery.
Chief Bingham explained it. That,
Yes,
you know,
that's why
The battery won't last that long.
No.
Right.
And they'll be.
And you can put auxiliary batteries.
They
I mean,
do
I'm
have
just saying,
auxiliary batteries.
it just seems like a lot of, I mean, everything I've ever heard is that's why our police cars are going downhill
Well,
fast is because of the idle time.
They addressed it with like the cold in the winter, as far as taking everything to warm it up and get them back up, powered back up. Also the heat in the summer, that they have to have the air conditioners on to keep all that stuff while it's running. They did address that, and I mean.
Plus, we only have 2 vehicles.
Okay, well,
Right.
Just
So-
looking, or yeah, going outside the box here, I mean, do we
Right.
look into some way to plug them in or something like that? I'm just saying if it's.
No, so what happened is we bought 3 more cars. Well, we bought 2 and one was given to us for free.
Right.
By Clyde.
For the canine.
They gave us the canine car. We just have to get it wrapped. The other 2 cars, we just approved last meeting to buy, right? Was the last meeting? So what that'll do, it will take 2 out of service. So they'll rotate. So it won't be the same 2 vehicles sitting out front running. There'll be vehicles sitting out there running. But that's just so that vehicle's warmed up, ready to go, and if the call comes in, the officer can run, jump into that and go.
Well, I'm just saying, is there any other option, right?
Well,
I mean,
Richard,
is there a plug-in option?
Can you add
where
more
you
light
can
to
plug-
it to help him
But-
understand why?
A plug-in option might work or might help, but he's talking about radar equipment and everything else that a fire truck doesn't have still needs to be on to a certain extent.
I mean, that's why I'm saying, as in the plug, I mean.
The plug works for the fire truck because the fire truck doesn't move. It always parks in the same place inside the building. So you're gonna run a cord out across the sidewalk to the police car. We don't have a, we don't have a Sally port
You're
or
not gonna
personalized
unplug the
parking.
car.
It's
all about-
unplug the car is not a problem because
A lot
we
has to
do
do
on
with
fire
response.
trucks.
Yeah, they're quick connect,
That some have quick disconnects, it depends on how. They were always by our driver's door, we unplugged them manually. But here, you're outside, you're not parked in a secure area. Anybody comes along, screws around with the cord, what kind of liability does that open the village up to?
But I would encourage you to talk to Mr. Bingham and.
Yeah, I'm just more throwing it out there, just if we're looking into different ways, right? I mean, I remember him saying that it's, the idle time is what's killing these cars, and if there's other options out there, I mean, we can
Yeah,
look into it.
the goal with the new stuff is to spread out the hours on the vehicles, so we're not abusing two vehicles every single day.
So you're not hot seating them.
Yeah, yeah, because that's the way we are today.
Because they're running 24 hours a day.
Yeah, they're gonna rotate them in and out. I think the only one we're getting rid of is the
Truck,
Truck.
the truck.
Yes.
which we're gonna trade in and get $6,000 for or something.
Yeah. 6,000 more, I would.
That's all I have.
All right.
Thank you.
Did you gentlemen have anything you wanted to share or update?
We had hose testing Sunday, so everything passed, so we're good
Awesome.
for another year.
We're getting closer with our CAD.
Oh, yeah.
We had training, the first round of training, Tuesday, Monday? Monday. And, we're getting closer, the CAD going live for the fire and EMS.
Good deal.
So that'll be nice once that gets going, but it's taking time.
And I can see why their stuff has to run, because from what I got is, we have to try to make sure our tablets don't go to sleep, because by the time we get to a call, get stuff loaded up and get there, we're already there before the computers load up.
If I have to recycle the computer, I can't put the information into the computer before I get 3 minutes into a run, 4 minutes into a run, so.
Right.
So, we'll make
So
sure
my
our
mistake.
computers don't go to sleep, so they're constantly linked and.
We're gonna make ours connect to the Wi-Fi at the station, and then when we pull out, it'll jump over to the Wi-Fi in the truck, so we can try to keep them.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Chief Walner, real quick, that major repair on that ambulance, that
Yeah.
one, is that still?
Supposed to be done this week.
Okay, good.
Yeah, supposed to be done this week. Talked to Jordan a couple of times this week, and
Does anyone have any other questions for Tim?
Is that it for public safety?
Yes.
Okay. Can I see you just for a minute? That way we can get you out of here.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. No problem.
I appreciate that.
We're going to move on to personal policy and ordinance for Chief.
Yes, so I don't know, I've talked to Tim much at all, but I know Tim was working with me on this, the revised event policy. I apologize, because I just kind of
It's okay.
put myself
You're
there.
okay.
My bad.
You're good, I know where
I
you're
have
at.
myself there a little bit. But I have a revised one here. I hope it's to council's liking, the revisions on there. It's not in red, I think we have to print it off in red, but you should be able to see, oh, maybe not. Anyways, I'll get it emailed to you too. I don't know if this is the right one, is it?
Oh, I see the marks on the left margin where you made changes, but it's not in the
I think it's
document.
because it's not in color, it's not shown, but I will get everything, this to you via email for further discussion. Maybe, no, I think what happened, anyways, Microsoft Word thing, I think is what happened actually. So I will get that to you guys so you can see the markings I made. I'm trying to redline it so you can see the actual changes, which is the same thing I did with the records request policy. Yep, it's not showing, so that doesn't help me. I think what you're seeing is the actual revision that was made, I believe. So what you're seeing is the final draft, basically. So I apologize for that. I'm not sure if
Would
everybody.
you want to update them on the email from our insurance company as far as addressing the insurance? The additional insured?
Yes, I'm trying to remember. It's been a long day. So I reached out to Mr. Welch regarding our additionally insured, mostly in regards to the DORA ordinance amendment next week. He wanted me to, well, first I'll keep the liquor liability part in there, but he basically said that the general commercial liability, that pretty much covers everything, and that the additionally insured needs to stay, and there's one more thing, something else.
Well, he did clarify that you didn't need both general liability, because most of the time if and this is for the establishment that sell alcohol and participate in DORA, because there was question, the way it was worded is Josh had it in there that we needed general liability and liquor liability. But a lot of the general liabilities have a rider underneath it where they cover the liquor. So if they have that, they don't need the liquor liability on top of it. So, insurance company clarified that, they absolutely do want, additionally insured, but they don't need to have both, as long as the one is general liability is covered under. If they have the liquor liability, then they need to name us on that as additionally insured. So that was just the update. And you updated the policy as well on that?
The event policy, yes. So the event policy, the poll workers request policy, and then the DORA amendment were all revised, like yesterday.
So it's reading that one or the other? Or if they have the event, or they have the liquor liability, then they would have to name us?
I think you and I are on the same page. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I think having that printed off in your hands may be the best way forward, to make sure there's no confusion going forward.
All right.
Can I say one thing? I'm still a little bit concerned about this because it says that if somebody's having a private event with 100 people, the village is going to pay for two police officers to attend that event. Number 7. Is the village going to pay for those officers, or
I don't
is
think
it?
that's what we want done. We have 2 officers on call.
Right.
I think it's like anybody else's event that they have, if they have to let us know, at least the officers will know
Yeah.
that event's going on.
Because this is saying 2 officers are going to be on general village coverage, and at least 2 officers must be assigned to the event itself. So this is saying that we would pay 2 additional officers to work an event with 100 people.
What if we set auxiliary?
Okay.
What if we set auxiliary?
Well,
here's the thing. Or we just say off police chief's discretion.
Yeah, it needs to have discretion in there. We talked about that last
I
time.
don't
Yeah, I
care.
don't think I
City of
touched on
Toledo
that.
charges if you want police. If
Right.
you have to have police at an event, they charge the
Well-
participant for that event.
And Chief Bingham mentioned that they have run into it over in White House because they didn't charge for things. They didn't even have anything in there that they charged. Places like Toledo that were charging, those residents were now coming to White House to have
Have
their
events.
events because White House would pick up the tab. So they changed it. They said people that were residents or businesses in town were not charged.
Okay.
But if outside entities came in, they had a fee schedule, so.
I'd
that
rather
may-
see it written like public events though,
I hear you.
where it's open to the entire
Right,
community, not
right.
a private event where maybe somebody hosts.
Like a graduation party, you
Right.
can have 100 people at a graduation
Yes.
party.
Right, absolutely.
I don't want to pay for 2
Family
officers
reunion.
to be at a graduation party
Right.
where they shut down a street.
Absolutely.
I will, I think I was focused on the part above with the insurance being waived by council, and the bottom part where it gave more officers, I forgot to change that. So I will review, change this again, get in front of you guys for next committee of the whole.
Yeah, include something about discretion
Yes.
of the police chief.
That was what we talked about, yes.
Yeah.
But do we want to think about a fee schedule for outside entities? Like Mr. Bingham was saying. That
Oh, I hadn't heard that before, what you said, like about White House and Toledo.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Because what they, like Bowling Green charges and Finley charges, and they get catch wind that we don't, then outside entities will come
Sure.
in and.
They'll want to have a festival on Main Street because
Right.
North Baltimore's got to pick up the tab.
Right. So I'm just wondering if we need to create some sort of fee schedule for outside entities, and what does everybody think about that? Because that was actually Chief Bingham's idea, because they have actually encountered it in White House.
I think that Section 7 Chief Bingham should totally advise on that, how. He has both experience as a mayor and a police chief.
Correct.
And to me, this is his section, so how he wants to handle it, I'm on.
Well, and do we want to have a section for, like I said, a fee that we could, I mean, we
Yeah,
can always.
out of town.
I can always waive it.
I think that maybe we need
Yeah,
to look
with
at it as
discretion.
a separate ordinance though,
Or-
for
But if we
services
don't
of
have
any
a fee-
type.
I believe if we don't have a fee schedule we can't really adhere to that, you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, we could always come into, I mean, we could always, like, if we start seeing the problem,
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
address it then.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think,
I don't think it's needed right now. If anything, we want people to have festivals here. We want to.
No, I
But,
agree,
yeah.
but do we wanna pick up the tab if
Everything
we're having
is-
something, I mean, I agree, if it's for the
Yeah,
public.
I see what you're saying.
But if it's,
Yeah,
right
that's where I
now, we
have
don't
a
even have
problem.
anything, if they wanted to have a private event and close this, you know what I'm saying?
If
We
I
don't
wanna have a
anything-
private block party, you have 200 people, I can do that.
Like, say Marathon, just gonna throw that out, Marathon wanted to come in and use our park, and, you know,
Same thing you used to.
have a whole bunch of people there, but it's private. But they, because of the stipulations, then they need officers, or they need streets closed down, parking, whatever, I'm just saying, that's where I'm looking at. If we don't have that already in our policy, we can't go adding it at the time. We're gonna be on the hook for that. I'm not saying it's gonna happen next week, I just, you know,
Let me think on that.
That's fine.
I'm sure there's best
and
practice
maybe
out
talk
there.
to Chief
And there could
Bingham about
probably be a one-liner thrown in there somewhere to, like,
the option.
in-town some kind of disclaimer.
Well,
to-
maybe
so
talk
we
to
could-
Chief Bingham about
I
that
know
as well.
like National Beef does
Mhm.
something down at the park.
But
Used
they're,
to, I don't know if they
they're,
still do.
they're part of our village, they're part of our village, so.
Not really.
No, they aren't.
They're outside the village and they're not.
But that's what I'm saying, council could, you know, certain circumstances, council could look at that and go, well, they do pay taxes for, you know, what I'm saying, so they should.
To the school, not to us.
They don't to the village.
No.
Delinquent tax.
No, they're not,
They're not in the corporation.
yep.
We talked about it, it's an annexation thing I'm working on.
And if it was a private event and it was a large one, we would wanna flip the bill for that.
That's what
I
my
mean,
question was.
what have we done before? I mean, it's,
We
There's
haven't
been no
required.
bill because there's been no billable,
Oversight.
there's never been no billable, like,
Yeah,
they just,
I mean,
they rent
we-
the park.
Well, there's been
they're
no
at the park.
policy either to address it.
I
And,
mean,
and that's what
there
I'm
was
saying,
probably
I
no
just
need
remember
for
what,
police to be down there, I mean.
I just remember what Chief Brennan brought up, and I would talk to him about it. And maybe there's a simple way of wording it that leaves
Yeah,
the
seven
door
seems to have a lot
open
of
for us to
discretion to the police.
I'll look
address
into
it,
it. I'll look into it.
so. Okay, so then you had revised public records as well?
Yes, public records request. So, the hope is, I mean, some minor changes here for the most part, but, especially the mayor was here, but basically, this is in line more with ORC than with the one I did before earlier in the year, and also removes the whole, free redacted body cam footage for those involved in an incident, because they already get that anyways during the discovery process, if they are going to court, that is. And we want to make sure that we treat everyone the same. The whole, it's called a loophole with requesting that information. It causes a lot of headaches on the administrative side of things.
So could you, when you send the other one, the other policy in
Yeah,
red,
the red
could you
line.
do that one
Yep.
as well, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. That'll help.
I'll put 'em on email.
Any other questions or concerns?
Back to this festival, our event policy. Like, we have an elephant in the room, and I don't know when we're gonna talk about it, or how we're gonna talk about it, or what we're gonna do about it. But the, petition that is going to go on the ballot throws all of our event policy out the window. So, like, what's our plan with that? What are we doing with that?
It has to pass first before it can do much of anything.
Correct, but we can't
That's when we have
come
to
at
address
it,
it.
so we're not gonna come at it with trying to get anything out to the public of the
I
fact
think when it
that
gets closer, we absolutely should.
Okay.
But right now, there's nothing we can do until we see it passes.
That's my plan, Paul.
Okay.
I think we need to, as
Strong.
council.
I just
we'll have
really
sit
hate to
down.
put all of this effort into this, have that pass, and then be like, we don't
Well,
follow
it
anyway.
still applies to even the event we're having. I had to
Oh,
go
yeah.
by all this. So it
Yeah.
goes to any other event. But that particular petition is gonna have to be addressed if it passes.
And this-
But I believe that we do, as council, need to have a statement that we present to the public, as far as our position on it. But I believe that should be done closer to November, like in October, late September, October.
This year's festival will have to follow this.
I install everything.
Yeah.
Not just the 150.
Not just our, but yes.
Anything till the end of the year,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
And anything else that might come up would follow
Yeah.
this.
Between now and
Right.
then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
At least we have something in place that way.
Yes.
Yes, no, I mean, we need this, but we also.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
not
Exactly.
ask and not go with it.
Right. Okay. Any other questions or concerns with personal policy and ordinance review? Going to move on to finance and technology. Dave?
Did we post the fiscal?
Yes, we have. We have 3 applicants. I usually want to get a little bit more before I pause, but I'll probably let it go through the rest of the week maybe before we end it by next Monday, I'm thinking, and maybe call people in for interviews should they be qualified.
Anybody cooler than Matt?
I can't.
Never.
Probably not.
I have not done that type of a search into these people and their personalities, so it's not yet.
Can't have everything. So what's going on with the phones over at the police station? Did
I
we
was
get the second phone?
I didn't check today, but I think it was yesterday I checked. It was nothing Friday I checked. I was told mid to early last week that was supposed to be done by end of last week. It has not been done. I'm going to reach back up to Intech and say, heck, what happened? Why hasn't it been done? But it is planned. They have the phone. So
When you said they have phone, is it a red phone? Is that what we did, or what exactly was the plan?
I don't know the exact.
The quote says red phone on it,
Right.
but
Okay.
I haven't physically seen it. but-
I haven't seen a
Right.
photo.
Okay.
If they try to hang another office phone on the wall, that you gotta hit a bunch of buttons, don't let them do it. Don't
No,
charge
no, no.
for that, because
No.
we already have one of those.
We went
Oh,
single
a
function,
pickup
single
phone.
function
Cool.
phone, boom, hello,
Right.
911.
And I would stay on them to get it done.
Yeah.
Yes, I was meaning to. I ran out of time today, but yes, I would. There's other things I want to do too. We send our cameras in the park, for example, we've already paid for. I'm actually going to get an additional camera over the parking lot here too, and a couple other things with like police and stuff. But
You need me to call in?
if I want to go nuclear, sure.
Let me know when
I'll
you're
make sure.
ready.
I'll
Dave, go nuclear? I don't see it happening.
speed dial. I need your help there. Call this guy.
By the way, thank you for putting out the post, you and Mason, on what the phone numbers do. On the, I think that was good.
I can tell that there's some confusion in some of the Facebook posts out there about what happens if you dial this or that number. So
Yeah.
I thought that was.
Can you
I'm gonna do that once a month.
pin that to the top of the village Facebook page so it
Good
doesn't
idea.
go away?
Good idea. I was gonna probably post that once a month anyways, but I'll do that.
Yeah, because that's gonna constantly be a issue, you know, for
Mhm.
folks as they
Agreed.
try to adapt.
All right, anything else, Dave, that you want to address? Go nuclear.
You like that?
I mean, I'll call if you want me to call. But other than that, no, I don't have, that's all I
All
have.
right, any questions for Dave? All right, we will move on to economic community development. Everything has come together for the festival. All vendors are paid. As far as the food vendors, they've submitted their health license and their insurance license. I will make sure that you have copies of everything, Josh, in case someone came to me and you didn't get a copy of it. All of the kids zone, again, all additionally insured has been signed and taken care of. Trying to think, Hunker's doing the beer tent on the insurance. I believe we talked about this last time, but I think it was at the committee, and I don't know if everybody was here. We would have had to pay, don't quote me exactly, it was like $600 or $1,600.
yeah.
Right around $1,600, $25, $75, something like that, for insurance to have this event, except because we had everybody give us additionally insured, that's almost all of it was forgiven. we had to pay $375 or $325.
347 around there, if I recall, 350, yeah.
It was right around
Just for the
325,
beer
because-
tent that we're hosting. which-
Yeah, because Hunker's doing the beer tent, and the village is going to be responsible for that. We had to pay the 300 and either
Yeah,
25, 50 or 75, I can't remember exactly what it was. But all the rest of it was forgiven because we did the additional insured. So that's all taken care of. The only thing that is up in the air, and I'm not sure who has the contact information, we are gonna have to close the streets on Broadway on both sides. The beer tent will be on one side, and the band and stage will be on the other side, and we have to do that because the credit union does not want the stage or beer in there.
Really?
Yeah, they don't want it in there. Well, they just did their parking lot, and they don't want any issues with that. So, they have to set those up Friday morning, and they will not tear them down until Sunday. So, I think it's probably 2 o'clock. We had to update the hours on that. Main Street will close down at 6 on Friday and open back up at midnight on Saturday. Everything else there is taken care of. I think, between sending out through Messenger and physically handing out to people like 250 applications for crafters. So I'm hoping to start getting some of those back. We've only got about 24 of them so far. But that's the only thing really, other than I'm going to go around to the area businesses and put posters. I think everything else is pretty much
We got
ready to go.
two sponsorships in from the letters we sent out.
Well, we had one 500. Who was the
Another
second?
500 came in.
Yes, 500 from Prison Propane, and then 500 from Automated Building Components.
Awesome. And then,
Do we have the-
Legion? Or Legion?
Oh,
I
forget. 100% forgot.
That's okay. So you didn't ask or you didn't find out, that's fine.
No, he just needs to write us a check.
Okay, that's fine. So we do have 5,000 coming from
Yeah,
the
that
Legion
was
as well.
completely separate. That is to this,
Great.
yeah.
Okay. The only thing is we need benches for the band. Does anybody know who to get a hold of, and if we can get permission to use, like, I don't know if they can.
Bleachers?
Yeah, for in front of the band. Anybody know?
Can't,
There's a service out there, but.
well, but
Go old school and bring out the straw.
we've done that.
That's
Well,
how it used to be.
there's always been, I didn't know
We
if they
get them
got.
for the ball fields.
That's what I was wondering,
Yeah.
but is Saturday, the 27th gonna interfere with any tournaments, or? if we
No,
have-
I think we're
school's
okay,
out.
yeah, I think, I've already talked to the Balls, they said it was fine. that-
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about down there?
Yeah,
Because I was talking about the school.
I was talking about the park, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so how
Are
do
those
we go
movable
about?
down there, Tim, those bleachers? Okay.
So how do we go about getting permission and when to get them, and, because Josh will bring them up Friday, but I just need to know who to contact and that it's gonna be okay to, bring them up there.
Josh.
Well, no, I already talked to Josh. Josh will do it, but do we just go down and get them out of the park? Is that
Yeah,
all we
they're
gotta do?
ours.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need.
The village is
So, what do we do? Is there just one of them?
There's
There's
a few at
there's
each one.
There's a couple sets.
Yeah.
Would 2 sets fit clear across like from sidewalk to sidewalk type thing, or would that be too big?
That'd be too big. You would want to go one on one side, one on the other, and then have open area in the center. Be able to get in and out.
Will 2 of them fit like that, or,
Probably.
Yeah, because they're not super long.
Yeah, they're not like.
So, the benches that's really all we need, the bleachers, or whatever you call them, and then talk to the
Bleachers,
twirlers.
Yeah. Benches, I was like.
Well, I know, okay, that's all right, just
I was gonna make.
go with me.
I was gonna call them.
Just go with me. But yeah, everything else I think is coming along. Like I said, that's the only thing I need to address, along with just continue working on crafters. So hopefully everything will come together and there will be no rain. Other than that, does anybody got any questions for me?
Nope.
Yes.
You will have a revised permit for them.
Do you need me to come in and refill that out? Or
At
can we
least
just-
that part, yeah, 'cause I think
Okay.
you should have it agreed upon by council again,
Right.
that would be the best practice.
So
Also,
I'll
any-
change that.
Yeah, any update on the 5K stuff?
Brad is really on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when I was handing out craft applications this week, and I met a gal from Gitzenberg, and she is part of a group that does a lot of 5K runs and stuff. She's gonna let them know about it, so she's gonna reach out to me in May, so hopefully we'll have a lot of people to participate in that as well.
Half my in-laws want to join the 5K. Is there, I can't find a signature.
No,
Seven-
just got the form done.
Yeah, 7:15 is registration, 8:15 the race starts.
Yes, I do that.
Okay. So, they're working on the T-shirt design, which is the same design as we have.
It's $25.
Yeah. And then also the trophies are being
So we
made.
fill out that form probably sometime soon?
Oh,
probably
yeah.
Online somewhere? Okay, I'll let them know if they find it.
Yep.
Okay.
When we get it, I'll actually send it to JT and make sure you get it as well, Josh.
I talked to Rawlinson yesterday at the concert, and he told me it was gonna be 25 right now, but he's waiting on 2 more sponsors.
Okay.
He's hoping to get a couple more sponsors to see.
To lower
if
it
the
even
price
more?
even lower
Okay.
than the 25, so.
Awesome. All right, thank you.
No problem.
All right. We're going to move on to Josh for the administrator report.
Oh, hello, everyone. Okay, so village solicitor, as you all know, our village solicitor has resigned, effective May 31st, I believe. And this, in regards to, well, yeah, I'm gonna start a search like I did last time for a new solicitor. Probably have Mr. Filkins come back in for another interview. I have to make a few phone calls. I'm not sure if posting this on Indeed is the best place, unless I could be mistaken, but I think I did okay last time without doing that, so we'll do that again. But going back to, I was supposed to talk about this during the water operator position. I know in the past we have gotten approval to advertise for positions. I recommend that maybe we stop doing that because we only have 1 meeting a month, and I do not want to have a special meeting just to get approval to advertise. It seems very inefficient and unnecessary. If council agrees, I'd like to proceed with just, if I want to advertise a position, just do so after the department head has agreed on the job description.
After I got thinking about that, Josh,
Yes.
I can remember one of the reasons why we do have the meeting to get authorizations is because they set the salary to APTA.
Understood.
So, and they can't take action unless they are, you can't take action over the phone, right, to give you authorization to do so. It has to be done.
Agreed.
So that's, I agree with you 100%, especially with what we've been faced with the past month, right, to call a special meeting to get authorization. I don't know how we would get around that. And I don't even get around it trying to do something shady. I mean, how would we get around it not to call a special meeting, to just say, hey, we got somebody leaving, you know?
If the salary stays the same as it currently is that okay?
Well, I was going to say, should we create something that had a range?
Can I, well, yep, and we used to have that, so we used to have that pay scale, but here's one thing is, if it's, we can always advertise it. It doesn't get approved except by you guys, right? So if we advertise it and we sat down and said, okay, what's a reasonable, and then, you know, and then maybe council comes back and says, hey, why'd you do that much, or that's plenty, that's good, or, but you guys have to approve the hiring of it anyhow. So if we can get some people attracted and just say, hey, we're gonna go ahead and advertise, and then if we don't get anybody by that next time we meet, right, you guys can say, well, let's bump it up a little bit, or we're willing to bump up the
Yeah, 'cause I think the last thing we want to do is hamstring, slow down the process of
Right.
Yeah, we really got to get hired.
Yeah. So, would you guys be opposed to that at all? If we just went, and we'll try it out. If it becomes a problem, we'll sit down and we'll visit. Thank you.
Like, and then I wasn't in the room when you guys were talking about the water operator, but I'm going to proceed with advertising
Yep.
probably tomorrow. If that's okay with you guys. Don't know the exact hourly, but I will talk with Brian on that and figure it out. But anyway, back to village solicitor. I'm going to reach back out to like the Rothenbuehlers. I know they work with a couple out
What
there.
about the gentleman, I think he was from Finley, when we interviewed Paul, there was another gentleman.
Mr. Filkins.
Is he from Finley?
I don't recall.
Okay,
Yep.
I think he was
Yep,
too.
he's from Finley.
I mean, I really
Pretty
liked
sure.
him as well. I know it was a toss-up between the both of them. I mean, can we just, I don't even know if this is permissible, can we reach out to
You
him
can,
and ask
yes.
him if
Yep.
he's available
You
and
can.
if he'd be
Yes.
interested?
Yep.
Does anybody really need to do another interview with him? Oh, I know you weren't here, so.
I wasn't here.
You
I
were-
don't-
Neither one of you were
No,
here.
that's okay.
So you prefer to do another interview?
I'm good with.
No.
If everybody else is,
Yep.
as long as nobody else here objects.
So, if we can, so you don't want us to advertise, just reach out
I'm
to
not
him?
gonna advertise
Why don't we,
anyway.
Well, let's, I'd like to hear from the other three that did
Yeah.
hear him. Were you impressed by him?
Yeah, like it was,
It was a toss-up, I think,
Yeah.
between the two of them. And what,
Yeah, I think they were really close. I think a lot of it was price, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Paul.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I think the other guy is a little more expensive.
yeah.
yeah, but why would we not want to advertise and then go with Filkins, right? What if, because if we don't get a hold of him, right, we can always say, okay, no, we've already filled a position. And what I'm getting at is, what if Filkins says, no, I'm not interested, and we haven't advertised yet? So it wouldn't hurt to just send an advertisement, or to make some phone calls.
I was at the very least gonna make some phone calls like I did last time,
At
reaching
least
out.
reach
We might
out.
get good candidates.
Yes, because there
You
might
never
be
know.
some people that might get it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I really like, because I was impressed with Mr. Filkins also, so,
just make sure we reach out to him too.
yes.
I was
That's
definitely
first and
gonna do
foremost.
that.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna do that.
If he says, yeah, I'm interested, then I think our search is over, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying, but if, you know, let's.
I guess that's the thing. You could reach out to him maybe yet this week, and if he's
There you go.
not interested, then advertise it.
There you go,
Um,
simple solution.
Okay.
But I know I was impressed with him, and I liked him, and it was a toss-up, but it was cheaper to go with Paul, so.
And then next up, upcoming presentations. Julie for the Love of Cats is coming to present what she's done so far in the village with the TNR program, Cats. I believe she is running out of funds that we've provided to her before, which is overall a good problem. I'm trying to get an updated document on everything she has spent so far. I know she does spend some of her own money when things get a little too pricey. But she can explain all to you. Hopefully I can share the document with you sooner rather than later, before next Tuesday. I'm expecting council not to want to do an emergency, but we can probably pay retroactively after that is approved, I would think. Council gets that for any work that's done between when she's out of funds that we've given her, and the line of funds, and that time it's
I
effective.
don't really, are you saying spend money before it's authorized? Because that's illegal. I'm pretty sure, isn't it? To spend
It was just an
funds that's-
idea to retroactively pay for something she's already doing on our behalf with TNR, but I
Hey,
can talk to
once
her
the
about that.
funds
No,
are.
weren't you saying we'd approve it next week, but we wouldn't do it as an emergency, which means it wouldn't take effect for 30 days, but we have approved
I can do
it.
emergency to make this a moot point.
I don't think
but I don't
cats,
know if
I don't think
it's
cats need to be an emergency, my.
Agreed, I just don't want her to be spending a lot of money while we're trying to go
Well,
through
that's on
the
her,
resolution.
that's on her, but if we approved it,
Because this program needs to keep turning, because she's doing a lot of work out there, so I just, where's the?
Well, you just gotta make sure we're doing it legally.
Of course,
Doesn't matter how-
of course.
I mean,
It was just-
no, so my
Yeah,
question
yeah,
is,
yeah.
my question is, Mayor, if we approve it next Tuesday, but we don't do it in an emergency, so it does not go into effect for 30 days.
So you're right.
Oh, a formal
So you-
motion.
Yes, you suspend the second and third readings, you can do that without declaring them, and then just adopt it, right? Yeah, you can, yes, okay, so declaring an emergency, then you don't have to wait 30 days, it goes in. If you suspend the second and third reading and adopt it, then you gotta wait 30 days, yep.
Right,
You're
but
right.
could she continue on doing her work and then?
You just do a formal motion while we do the readings.
I would
Fair
defer,
say?
Matt, what do you think about that? I mean, I think we'd be,
If we approve it and then she invoices, we can't pay the invoice for 30 days.
Retroactive.
bingo.
So is that-
If
Is
it's a
that-
formal motion, I think we can get through until it's actually approved via resolution.
Yeah.
A formal motion by council, I think, can get us till it's effective, maybe, without an emergency.
Well, I mean, you could reach out to Paul and ask
We've
him.
approved funds for stuff without a resolution before.
I would have to look and see where the funds came out of the last time to see if there may need to be a supplemental appropriation.
That's what I'm talking
Funds
about. Yeah.
appropriated.
Let's see what that looks like.
If they're appropriated in my side, not part of the
Mhm.
equation, it's more on the other side, like the
Well, we'll definitely
administrative
know what that
side.
looks like.
That's what I thought you were saying, they're out of money out of that appropriation. Because then you gotta reappropriate the money. If the money's there, you're authorized to expend, you are authorized to that expenditure as long as council says, yes, go ahead, right? Like,
in the dollar
Previous
amount.
resolution approved $5,000.
Yeah, you can do that
Oh,
as long
so
as it's in that.
he could spend up to 5,000 again this year.
Yes.
Oh, then-
As long as the money's there is what I'm saying. If the
Yeah.
money's not there, like already appropriated for that.
Yeah, like
we're
we got
spending
moved
money
to
that's
something
not
else.
appropriated, that's not.
I could just
we
do
don't
it,
wanna
yeah,
do that. That's,
If it's appropriated, yeah, I would say that you just.
But is that, but it had, you said she's running out of money, was that, she spent 5,000 last year and now we've already used the 5,000 this year? Is that, am I understanding?
5,000 total since beginning.
Since the beginning, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I got seen the numbers, I need the updated doc, which she has provided before, you've seen that. But she can explain any questions you may have regarding that doc,
So what
about
would-
why this and that cost maybe more than typical cash.
so what would be the problem with just suspending it for, until the money's there? If it's not there?
Well, I don't want to affect the great job she's doing out there with the TNR program. I don't want to suspend that.
I appreciate that, Josh, but we can't, right, that, I mean, if she's gotta wait 30 days in
Well,
order to
the-
carry on to get the money appropriated, if the money's there.
Yeah, that's a
then
different
it should-
thing.
yes.
If the money's not appropriated, we
That's
need
what
to pass
that's what I thought you were saying.
ordinance, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to,
Yeah, we have to.
put the money in
I
there.
agree.
It's
So
not in the budget.
pending what Matt says, I'll figure it out.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then next up, Andrew Kalmar of the Wood County Parks District will also be coming in to present. He just wanted to present, I think, on the Wood County Parks District grant, I believe, probably a few other things, but he scheduled that like last month, so. And then we can skip the MUP stuff. I'm currently in negotiations with the person who submitted on that. The fee is just a little high for me. Maybe I can work it down, make it more reasonable, but just FYI on that. And then East Broadway sidewalk. American Structure Point we're currently in negotiations with them for the design of the sidewalk. They won by 0.2 points out of 100. We did a QBS last Tuesday. If we cannot come to an agreement with them, or ODOT doesn't find their proposal reasonable, which we actually got that I think today, maybe yesterday, then we will go to the second person in the running that was scored. But that's designed for East Broadway sidewalk. That's 100% funded. 4 years and we get our sidewalk down East Broadway. So I'm very excited about that. And that's the update on it.
All right, any questions for Josh?
Yeah, did you get a chance have we heard anything from Myers?
Myers Tree Service? Oh, they're working.
About the trees on Walnut, so we can do that project down there.
I know they are working all around town almost every single day. They have not done that.
Follow up with Josh and find out where they're at on that, so we can bid that project, bring that to council and bid that
I
project.
mentioned to Josh to give me at least a quote. One, I'm just very curious what it costs, first off. Give me a quote on what those 3 trees by themselves
Right.
cost us. I don't want to blow too much money, but it's in the works. They are all around
So,
town.
you don't wanna blow too much money, but that's what that money's there for.
I know.
For the tree,
Yeah.
that's what the money's there for.
It's more of a curiosity thing, what's it going to cost.
If
but
you
yeah.
drive down, I challenge, or I would invite anybody to drive down Walnut Street,
Massive.
go down to whatever block it is, look to the right where the 3 biggest trees are on that road, and look what it's done to the sidewalks. You can't pass it, those trees have to go, I'm sorry.
Corner of
Right?
roads.
We have to fix that sidewalk, and we got a pretty good plan put together that we'll bid out, we'll bring to council, we'll bid that out, it's gonna be a good project, it's gonna be a good start project, I hope. We gotta get those trees out of the way first, with that root trails, they gotta go.
Okay, those 3 cottonwoods are at the corner of Rhodes and East Walnut. They are massive.
And we're gonna plant 3 new trees in their place, whether it's at the park or on the property owners, whatever they
Yeah.
want, so. But what I'm getting at is we gotta do a project this year, so find out where we're at on those trees, because we can't do the sidewalks if the trees are still there.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Something I want to bring up that Josh brought up, out at the cemetery, there is firewood out there, wood that has been cut, so I didn't even know that was out there to be utilized.
Yeah.
So maybe we post something on our village website and on Facebook that there is firewood out there, that they need a permit to get it.
Yep.
I was literally there this morning talking to Josh about this.
Mhm.
Took a photo and I was going to post them out.
Okay, great. I'll need one of those permits.
Also, I'm doing my due diligence on the cemetery parcel tomorrow with the recorder's office, trying to find our deed to that property, making sure there's no deed restrictions on said property, and then I'm going to proceed with a survey. I'm going to do a parcel split, which make our 1 into 3. That's the thought right now.
Something else that I thought about, and I don't know, other than when you have to get a clear title on it, but a lot of times when property is purchased, then they go to do the title search and they find out that there's old oil leases on them. I don't know if there's another way to do that before, so that we have those taken care of, because that can hold up a purchase of the property. And in this area, there's a lot of property that has those oil leases on them. So, and you can get them removed. It just takes 2 to 3 months to get them removed. You might want to see, other than having a title search done, or what it would cost to have a title search done to have that taken care of.
Thought about that. My first step again was recorder's office, see what's there already. It's already been recorded about the parcel, and then maybe do title search. I'm still trying to figure out the process, the right process. But that's what I'm thinking about right now.
Right. I'm sorry, what did you say, Dave?
It's about 13 months.
Just for the title search? Well, I don't know if there's something that if they can pull up to let us know.
A title search may be done by whoever buys that property to develop anyways, I would think.
Right.
So they can spend that money.
Exactly.
We're
But
just doing
it can hinder the sale a lot. Like
course.
people will walk away because those are on there. So.
But yeah, parcel split won't, it costs about $2,000. Won't really harm us even if we can't sell it, or we're just going to keep doing, leasing it to farmers. I think if the time comes, the title search again can be paid for by the developer. That's what I'm thinking about right now.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, so it's that time of year, cleanup. I think Josh and our code enforcement officer out hit it pretty hard. What do we remember from our discussion now that, because we're starting to get some, it's that time of year, what was our discussion on the policy? Like, what's the expectation? So I know that we wanted this, we ended up settling for this. Like we said, we wasn't gonna have HOA policy, but we wanted people to clean up. Like, people had toys in their yard, but they were operable, that, hey, you could have, you had stuff, clean your yard up. Where are we at? So that these guys have some direction, and when I get phone calls,
If it's sat there all winter, maybe it needs to be cleaned up.
My swing set's sat there for the last 5 years. I can't put it in.
Right, and I think we talked about this, it was supposed to be kind of reasonable. If the kid just dumped his bike and walked in the house, that's not a violation. If there were rusty parts falling off of it, or tires that were flat, that's a violation.
It's inoperable is what we had.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly right. Okay. All right. It's reasonable, yes, that's exactly what we talked about. So, yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm talking about that's what we talked about. Reasonable, and we're not going HOA, but.
I just wonder, some of the things that I have read, and I just wonder if we we've got to do grass all over.
Oh, yeah.
But would it be better for us, because this is what I'm hearing feedback on, is that I'm getting targeted, but my neighbor down the street, a few houses, they're not. And what if we had a map and we started in one quadrant?
What is the target though?
That's just,
we gotta get
that
back
just
to
adds to the work.
Let's go back to hold on, let's go back to, I don't disagree with, we gotta be careful targeting, but we also need to make sure, we also need to make sure everybody's doing their due diligence. That's the conversation that we had, right? We said, look, we need people to start cleaning up. Everybody in the village needs to start cleaning up. That's nobody just.
I will say right now, I was told I needed to clean up.
We gotta go back.
And I did.
Okay.
Took you a while, but you did.
But
Nice haircut.
do you need to clean up according to what we agreed to? Right? That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, if we have to go back and visit the minutes or whatever and see what that was to make sure.
Sir, I have to follow what was approved by council.
We have to follow the policy.
Some stuff may have been talked about, but I have to go by what is in writing.
So if we need to go back and change
Yeah.
something.
That's
then
exactly
we-
what I'm talking
well,
about.
but I don't wanna lessen it, I don't wanna
Hold on,
lessen
guys.
it, but if we need to review it, then we'll have a meeting and review it. And
Hold on, please. So we just need to go back and review the minutes and make sure that the policy reflects the discussion that we have is all that I'm saying. Or change the policy to what we want, right? If it's not already.
I'm actually already doing that in a way without going into the minutes. I'm already trying to figure out how I can operate with the police and the 1303s and the 521s that are in our zoning, the civil citations and criminal
I'm
citations.
talking about people cleaning up their yards. That's what
Yes.
seems like it's
Which
getting beat up on
everything we're
Facebook,
talking about
right?
is included in those
I don't
codes.
know. I mean,
I don't mind being on Facebook.
hold on, you're a reflection of this village, bud, so let's, we don't.
So those people are posting on Facebook.
Yep, I get you, so, Josh, listen, we'll go back. We will look at the discussions and make sure that the policy is a reflection of the discussions that we had. It's all I'm making sure that we're doing, right? And if it's not, we can readdress it. We can sit down, we can say, look, here's the conversations that we had. Is this what's going on? If it is, or here's the conversations we had, it's not in the policy, do we need to add it to the policy? Let's just make sure that the policy is a reflection of the conversations that we had.
I have a question for you. Is this program complaint-driven or primarily complaint-driven? Or do we go out and search for?
Both. We have a blight officer.
Well, I know we have a blight officer, but typically, a lot of inspection is complaint-driven. So people that feel targeted have a single neighbor or two neighbors that just can't stand that individual. And that's where you get your constant complaints, where people feel they're being picked on.
Yeah, and that's a fair question, but if it doesn't matter, in my opinion, so it doesn't matter how it comes to our attention, if our code enforcement officer goes and inspects it and finds that it's in conflict with or in
policy.
In violation of policy, thank you, then he's got his.
Absolutely, but
So, and I'll share with
people,
you.
what I'm trying to get at, from doing inspection for 10 years, what you have is people are gonna be ticked off because they're being singled out by their neighbor. And you can't get around that.
Or
You understand what I'm saying?
Or they're getting singled out on their street when there's other violators on their street that aren't being addressed at that time because they may not be as bad.
Potentially, right.
And that's where I was saying with a map that we start
That map will be
doing it.
never ending. That's way more administrative hours when we could be out in the field doing our job. I will push back on that. And last week, everyone who asked that question about, what about my neighbor? We actually were already talking to them about violations,
Josh,
citations already in the court.
Please, but if council wants us to do it, and it makes sense, you can push back if you want. Please don't use that statement with these guys, that's.
I'm just saying, there's an efficiency and then there's
Okay,
so much red tape.
if they want it, I will make sure that it gets carried.
Of course, and I will
Yeah,
too.
That's, so, if it doesn't make sense, we'll plead our case to the council.
Yes.
Right? So, I bring this up, just to make sure that it's consistent, along the lines of what you're talking about. I got a complaint about somebody on Main Street, their garage is actually still falling down, right? I got the complaint, they went and looked at it, and Josh is actually working on it right now. It is a safety issue, and I appreciate it, I read the email, and I appreciate that, Josh, your work that you're putting in on that. So some of them are complaint, some of them are, you drive around and you see it, it's evident, stuff is sat there for way too long, right? And, you know, we're guilty of it, and clean it up, right? Have them clean it up. I just want to make sure that because when we first started talking about this, guys, if you remember, we talked about it till it was, I don't want to get into a conversation like that again. Let's just go back to common sense, clean up your property so your neighbor doesn't have to look at it, right? Or that your neighbors,
Can Josh email us all the policy before the next meeting, so we can just?
We got it right out here.
Oh, perfect.
Codes? With each one.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
blight policy.
Yeah, because.
Just the blight policy.
I think that was finalized. We talked about it when
Yes.
I've been on
If you know,
council, but I think it was finalized
It
before.
was finalized years ago.
Yeah.
Well, 2 years ago.
So I read part of it just recently. I didn't put a lot of time into it. Maybe I need to sit down and refresh my memory. It just seemed like when I sat down and started reading it, it was almost more strict than what our final conversation was, as I remember. So And I don't know if that's fair. So just, if everybody gets a chance, I know I'm asking a lot, please review the blight. The whole point here, the blight policy, it's right out there on the counter. The whole point of our blight policy is just make sure people are cleaning up their property with respectful, and have some respect for the neighbor. It's not, we're not asking for HOA, we're not asking for, I mean, you guys got beautiful yards, right? I'm sorry, I don't, right? I mean, I'm gonna run over everything with my lawnmower. You guys have beautiful, you know, that's what.
Down to his house.
Yes. So, you know, some people are, you know, they take care of the property, but we just want common sense, not HOA, but clean your property up so that your neighbors not to look.
Well, we did do the blight ordinance, so it had some teeth to it, so, you know, because we needed that. I do want to bring up that I had a citizen ask me about the home that burnt down on Tar.
That was cleaned up.
It's cleaned up.
It is all cleaned up?
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yes.
is
I had
it-
talked to the insurance and the
Okay,
fire.
then there's another,
Can I stop you there just for a second, please? That is something I'd like to address this body on. We don't have to do it, it comes through legislation. When this thing happens, the ORC calls on how that's supposed to be handled, but it doesn't give a timeline on when they have to get it cleaned up, right? We get a check most of the time, not now, it's gonna be all the time. You guys all remember that whole conversation that we worked on? But I don't know that we ever put a timeline on how long we give the property owner to clean it up, right? Before we go ahead with the assessment, not the assessment, but the money that we're giving to, that we have to earmark to clean it up. And we could get into that conversation later on if it's.
but that's my thing, if we don't have a timeline, then I think we need to.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking for, we need a policy for that, that's what I'm asking for, because right now, it's just, well, we've looked at it long enough, and I went to Josh and said, hey, what are we doing about cleaning this up? He started working on it, I don't know, did the homeowner ended up ultimately getting it cleaned up, right?
Yeah,
They
I had
contracted.
to reach out to
But I said,
people, but-
we need to move on this thing, like, if they're not going to, we've got the money in escrow, we're required to put it in escrow by the insurance company.
Neighbors were calling, it was a whole.
Yeah, so.
Well, and then there's another issue on Tar Street as far as a home that has really tall grass, and they're going through some marital difficulties, and the husband has a restraining order, so he's not responsible. He can't go on there to do anything, and I think she's refusing. So we need to maybe, what is our time limit on before we go in and mow it? And so it doesn't.
Yeah, so we have to go through the process.
Like 7
Right.
days.
Yeah.
Is that one down by me?
I believe so.
I just drove by
It's,
the other
it's
day.
been mowed.
Oh, it has?
Yes.
Just recently?
Yesterday or the day before?
Okay, that's fine, because that was, yep.
So we have to go through the warning, right? We have to go through, and then give them whatever.
Did they mow it, or did it, they mowed it?
So-
Good job. Okay. Those were, like I said, those were complaints that I got last week, so.
That's the kind of stuff that we're kind of after, right? You know, and then.
I think people are basically asking, to bring back your point about, well, are they targeting, you know, are they just me and my neighbor's house is a mess?
Mhm.
I think they're basically asking for a list of houses, and we're not gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Like, people that we're writing tickets to, that's basically what they're asking. They wanna know, is this house getting violations? But we're not gonna put that out there publicly, so.
Right. Well, I feel some of them were, and they may not know, they don't know who's getting, you know, addressed, who's addressing what property. But I think they felt like I'm getting fined, and my neighbor down the road has violations, and they're not, and that's why.
And you know when they say that, if that neighbor has not already been in the process, we'll be like, thank you, we go down to them and give them a violation.
So give them a warning first, right? We always have to, right? Let's make sure, boy, don't
Yes.
chop at the bit to be violating people, right? Right? Give them an opportunity.
We talk to people all the time.
So I have made it very, very clear to Jacob that we do not discriminate, we do not play favoritism. That applies to everybody across the board, it doesn't matter who you are. So I've left it up to them to do their job, right? And if they're not doing it, then let me know and we'll address it.
We've given about 25 violations last week, and we're working on getting another 10 or so.
So what do you mean we? Do we need to
Jake
get rid
and
of
I.
Jacob?
No, Jake and I
Okay,
are
what's
working, he
this?
does a lot of the driving around and finding and the paperwork, and I verify that paperwork before we do the official violation or citation.
Okay, we'll sit down and we'll.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
That's clean up your yard, Dave.
What's that?
Good job. You cleaned up your yard, you still talking?
Yes. Yes, I did.
What was wrong with it?
So every time I make some space out back, Jessie decides she wants to fill it with something. And so that means stuff has to come out.
Throw her under the bus.
I get it.
Public record.
I know.
Your haircut is not gonna look nice.
Not at all.
Next time it won't be nice.
Yeah, she's
But
cutting
no,
her hair
the
tomorrow.
back behind my garage got really out of control. And I spoke with Josh, and I went ahead and had that, cleaned it all up, took out all the dirty stone, put all new stone in there. It's really nice back there now.
That's awesome. So
We're proud
that,
of you.
but it's not out, but the
No,
stone isn't.
that wasn't asked for.
That was just beautifying the property.
Right. And that's what I was trying to do.
All right, we are going to move on now that we've congratulated you.
Wonderful.
Matt, what do you have for us tonight?
The switch over to Constellation for the electric generation supplier is complete. That process, that's probably started at least 6 months ago. That's locked in for the next 18 months. We've been working with the Ohio Plan, their property and casualty insurance provider. They're close to having a quote ready. So may know more there by next week. Recently, as of yesterday, the village received a reimbursement, part of the reimbursement for the OPWC funds for East Broadway. That check was $201,288.33. That whole program there was $228,000 was a grant, $97,000 was a 0% loan. So, and that was 14.8% of the project. So that really helped out on that project. I submitted the invoice to Jackson Township for the EMS services provided for the first half of 2026. That was just in the last probably week. They've acknowledged the receipt and they plan to pay the whole year, which will be coming here soon. We received the second monthly dispatching invoice from Wood County Sheriff's Office. That's the same cost as the first month, $9,020.88. So I would, from the looks of it, I would predict that will remain the same throughout the year. So that's really what I have. Any questions on any of that?
What is the billing for township, for the Jackson Township? For the
What's the question?
How much was that?
48,000.
48 for the year.
And it's only half the township.
Okay.
Yep, it's just the south side of the tracks and, go ahead.
Right closer to the third, maybe even a little less
Isn't
than a
it?
third.
Okay, thank you.
Is that about the coverage? It's about a third of it.
Yeah, the coverage is probably a little less than a third of the townships if you were to look at a map.
So it's south half of the tracks. And then I think he was talking about doing some sort of I don't know if it was I know that Weston takes care of the north side of the tracks. Now, obviously, there may be some sort of a joint agreement, I don't know, between the chief and Weston, if they're like a mutual, almost like a mutual aid, I don't know. So let's say that they can't get there if we go help out with the north side, and then sometimes if we can't get there, they'll go help out with the south side. I'm almost positive, I don't know if that's an agreement yet, I'll talk to the chief. I know that we talked about that, I don't know if they ever come to a conclusion on that yet. Almost like a mutual aid that we have with other entities.
Thank you.
I previously mentioned at last Friday's meeting about possibly splitting my weeks between my new employer and the village of North Baltimore. The more I thought about that, I didn't really think that was probably a good idea. So my intentions, or the plan is, I'm working full-time at North Baltimore for this week and next week.
Thank you, Matt.
And my final day would be Friday the 15th. So, and I did email the mayor, administrator, like in-house. I think Monday morning I sent that out, so.
And then if we needed you, you would help us, not necessarily come in, or if we did ask you to come in for some training and it was available, we'd just pay you $1 per hour.
Yeah, that's
If
fine.
that was something that we could come to an agreement on,
Something
right?
that you guys
We said, hey,
really
Matt,
should
you got
do.
some time, we got this finally got a new, because that works out tremendously, right? I mean, it helped Matt, when Tony was willing to come back in and help Matt, and if we could just help Matt kind of pick up, help him pick up where Matt left off, it'd be fantastic if Matt would be willing to do that. We'll reach out to you, I'm quite certain, for a little bit later for that. And nobody has an issue with that, do you?
No.
And that's, it'd be in our best interest. Thank you, Matt, very much.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Any questions for Matt? All right, Mayor?
The only thing that I've got, talked about the other couple issues already, and I appreciate it, just the radios. So I don't know where we're at on them. Well, bear with me, because so the incident that I was involved with, I shared with Paula and Tim, and I reached out to it's very disappointing that it's not taken care of. We are gonna get it taken care of. We have said, I called the chief and said, look, if you, not trying to push too much, but letting him know that, hey, I know this isn't yours, but if you, I'm gonna start working on it if you need me to. And he said, well, hold on, let me make some phone calls. So we all sat down with the sheriff. He's gonna bring his guy over, his professional, and he's gonna give us some options of what they believe is and what we need to do to fix it. Now, keep in mind, we've only spent, I believe, I gotta be careful, Matt, help me out. Is it the only thing that we've spent so far, I'm talking about for our radio communications that we're having problems with, is just what we had to pay to Railcom in order to just get that whole thing to go in, which was labor cost it. So there may be there's gonna be some expenses coming forward. We all know that. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna let the sheriff and his professionals, his team come in, share that with us, and then we'll certainly be coming and talking to you guys about this.
Have we determined what the issue is yet, or are we?
No, they're working on it. So he's bringing his guy over to try to figure it out. Like, right? So he said, what they've got their repeaters, or they've got their in-car repeaters, right? And that's, and so what happened, I don't know. I don't think we need to backtrack and rehash all that. We just need to have him come over with his guy, and he said, we'll get it figured out. But keep in mind, even he said, when we sat in there, he said, there's some areas where his guys don't even get out, right? But sometimes they have to move, sometimes they may have to turn their radio on. You're probably familiar with it, Mr. Bozak. So there's just certain techniques that people or officers need to be trained to do that may help them, rather than just stay in that one space and keep trying to call. And I'm not saying that our officers do that, right? It's just some training that needs to go on, and then we definitely need to upgrade and get some help here, which one we will. I mean, with your guys' blessing and your guys' help, we'll get this figured out. I'm very, very committed. So, as I said, we met already with the sheriff. He's going to get his guy on it with Mr. Bingham, and we will certainly let you guys know where we're at. That's all I got. Thank you.
Any questions for Mayor? We are adjourned.
Josh?